Creator Clash 2 is this Saturday, and now that I think the card is finally fully set and there'll be no last minute changes, I can finally give you my predictions for who's gonna win, who's gonna lose, and most importantly, how. But why would you trust my opinion? What do I know that perhaps the average person doesn't? Well, I've been an amateur boxer for the past 5 years. Not only that, but I've been trained by a future Olympian. I've been in plenty of gym wars, and in fact, my first fight was supposed to be a charity fight.
Vlog update. We're sparring today. Another great day of boxing. Except for, I broke my fucking nose.
I've also seen it for those that are just doing their first fights and what that really means, what's important and what's not important when it's come to training, and what really matters on fight night. So without further ado, full predictions, probably a couple of upsets you won't be expecting, and let's get into the first fight. Jack Manifold versus Dakota Olive. Olive? Neither of these guys are posting on social media. I think that's a good thing. If you're not posting, it means you're working and you're in camp and you don't want to give away anything. That's valuable. That to me says, okay, you're working, you're getting her done, but also technically you could be doing the opposite. I think based off of the couple of photos I've seen out of both of them, that Jack Manifold is going to win in a decision. I believe almost all of the fights on this card are going to be 5 2-minute rounds. So stamina is going to be a factor. And these guys are dead even in weight, dead even in height. But I think Jack just has a little bit better technique. And I think we'll just be able to keep his guard up maybe a little bit better. I could be wrong, but I do think it's going to be a Jack win by decision. Fight number 2, Jayla Ray versus Albina Sabrina. Both of them have been posting, but I think Jayla Ray gives you a better insight into her camp. Now, because this is going to be their first fight each, there's 2 things to me that are going to be really important that'll stand out above the rest. One is going to be your cardio, not just because it's a long fight, but with all the lights on you, with the moment on you, your adrenaline will shoot up and shoot away within 5 rounds. Number 2, sparring becomes a huge factor. The more rounds you're getting in, the more live punches you're taking will better suit you and set you up for the night of. And I think based off of that little window we've gotten into both of their camps through TikTok, I think Jayla Ray will win by a 3rd round knockout. Dad versus AB, probably contender for fight of the night. Both of these guys did fight in Creator Clash last year. Dad absolutely went apeshit and fucking balled out. AB stuck in there for a damn war. And I think that's where this gets a little more interesting, because both of them have had the experience of their first time. You might get a bit more technicality out of both of them. But for Dad, there's a lot of technique that still needs to be proven. We know he can run in and just start throwing haymakers. AB did a full-on war and was able to score a knockdown in the process. I think if AB can weather 2 rounds of the storm that is Dad, he will win in a 4th round knockout. But if he doesn't, look for AB to go to sleep fairly early on. Leonhardt versus Crank gameplays. Ooh. Oh man, Leonhardt is actually quite a bit bigger, couple inches on top of Crank gameplays. Now Leonhardt looks big, right? He looks beefy, but that's not necessarily important. You know, I've seen a lot of guys in the gym come in fully fit. They look over at me looking like a round piece of roly-poly-oly and absolutely die within the first 20 minutes of a session, while I can just go.
Well,
I don't think either guy's going to go out to really score a knockdown. I think there'll be a bit of adrenaline at the beginning, and I think it'll be a little bit awkward. I think both will settle down and get quite exhausted by round 3. But I'm expecting this one to go the distance. I predict it to go all the way, and I think Leonhardt can squeak out the win. If he can just stay at the end of his jab, he should be pretty all right to get on his bike and coast out. Mika versus Alana Pierce. I had to do a lot of scoping to see if I could find out anything about what's going on in their camps. They both seem to have gone through a big transformation, which is fantastic. One of the sweet things about boxing is how your body changes and adapts, and you can feel oh so good. For my first fight, I lost so much weight to get down there and was feeling really good. I think this could be a rare case of a tie. Now, how would that work? I think both of them have to win 2 rounds, and I think there needs to be 1 knockdown each. maybe a double knockdown in round 5, you know, one from each of them, maybe. But this is also a case where the refs are going to err on the side of keeping the creator safe than actually watching them, you know, go to sleep. But to me, it just feels too close to judge. I can't figure out who's got that chip on their shoulder, or maybe that warrior heart. And that'll always be the hardest part when predicting all of these, is who's got it deep down inside them. That's what you find out during camp, is how far you're willing to dig deep to get her done. So I'm gonna call this a tie. I think this will be a tie, but I think it will be so entertaining. Aaron versus Jarvis Johnson. Ooh, interesting dynamic here, because Jarvis is trying to shake himself out of some things, trying to get fit, a good challenge as a person, but Aaron has that one fight advantage on him, being in Creator Clash last year and now going through it all again this year. And I think that'll be the big difference maker, that experience. Even though it's just one fight in these early stages, one fight versus no fights, and one fight versus 2 fight, and 2 versus 3, there's such big leaps and bounds, because you learn so much in that beginning stage, that I think Aaron is gonna win. And I think Aaron's gonna win by knockout. I'm thinking 2nd round knockout.
I hope you fucking die, Jarvis. Get him out of here.
Oh, dude, Myth versus Hondar. This is fun. Hondar was in a war last year against AB. That was so fun to see. And Myth at chess boxing, I think, wanted to do more boxing. And I had a pretty good dance partner to do so. But now I think Hondar is a real opponent. I think both of these two, because they have a fight under their belt, will not be so much of flailing and cardio. And we'll actually try to do a little bit of the sweet science. And I think Myth has got that dog in him, you know what I mean? I think Myth is gonna really dig down deep, and I think he's gonna throw some vicious intent. I'm thinking Myth is gonna win by a 4th round knockout. This is my prediction for fight of the night. Haley Sharp versus Marisha Ray is gonna be so good. Haley last year against Jinx was in an absolute war. A war. It was so good. Probably fight of the night for last year, and I think will be so again. But this time, I don't think it goes the distance. I think Haley's going to get her redemption arc here, and I'm predicting a 3rd round. Actually, I'm predicting a 5th round knockout in the last few 30 seconds. To me, I just think there's a little more of that warrior heart that we've seen. And I think by doing the whole process again, chip on the shoulder, that'll be the thing to push her to just get it done. This was a last minute change up. William Hayes versus Chris Raygun. This was actually going to be my contender when it was originally Froggy Fresh. Things have changed. And what does that mean? William Hayes is fucking shredded. Look at him. He's fucking ripped. But Chris has had a full camp. To me, that's the difference. This is, again, that scenario where a guy can look oh so jacked, but get into the boxing space and be so in the deep end so fast. I think Chris having a full camp to be ready, to be a boxer more or less, and to just be focused in instead of coming in, 3 weeks before the card will be it. I do think this will go the distance. I think it'll be a little bit of back and forth. I think, there's a bit of an intimidation factor that could be had here with William just looking so good. I've been in that situation. I've seen guys look shredded. I've gotten worried and found out that I had it within me to, not worry about that, and that the muscles, the looks, the aesthetic didn't matter. And I think Chris will have to overcome that same thing. Not to say that he's not a good looking guy, but I don't know if he's as shredded. Look at these photos. Either way, it's going to go the distance. Chris is going to win. But if Froggy Fresh was in here, it was going to be a Froggy Fresh knockout. I just want to say that. Michelle versus Andrea Botez. This is going to be good too. We've seen the video of Michelle putting in all the training. It's all coming out at the end now. All of the different things that she implemented to be ready for this fight. The X factor for me is Andrea having a fight, man. She did do chess boxing, and even though it was a bit of both, she was looking good in those boxing rounds. She was scrappy, going for it, trying to get the knockout. And again, because this is all for charity, the refs are going to be pretty generous about stopping fights early to keep them safe. Nobody here is really wanting to be put to sleep, and I think if Andrea can just jump on top, really fast and not let Michelle sort of get in any sort of rhythm, she will win. I think this is going to be an early one. I'm predicting a round 1 knockout win for Andrea Botez. John Morrison versus Harley Morenstein. Oh, two of the big boys. Harley is looking absolutely shreddy spaghetti. He's looking great. Second whole camp under his belt. I don't think he stopped after Creator Clash 1. I think he just kept going. Now, John is caliber of a person. I mean, a professional wrestler for decades does mean he can probably take more than a few punches. In a way, it is similar, right? All the bumping that he did in wrestling or does in wrestling will translate to sort of the pain tolerance that could come as these two heavyweights are really going to go at it. But again, to me, I always value that actual boxing experience. I value spending time actually under the bright lights. I value those sparring wars that you don't usually see on camera or really hear about. And I think for me, that's what's going to push Harley to the next level. I think this will be tight. I think we're going to see maybe a couple of wibbles, a couple of wobbles, a couple of knockdowns, but I do think these two big boys are going to go the distance. And when that happens, I think Harley's going to win by decision.
I hope you fucking die, Harley. Get him out of here.
And your main event, iDubbbz versus Alex Wassabi. Now, this is supposed to be a professional bout. I saw that through BoxRec, so I think that means they're going to up the time to 3 minutes, which I think was supposed to happen last year, but didn't. Alex was supposed to fight KSI, dropped out, little bit of drama there. iDubbbz, second time through. I've seen Alex work on the mitts a little bit, looking nice. Mitt work always looks good. It always looks fun. And it always just maybe puts you to look a little bit better than potentially you are. Not to say that Alex, maybe isn't having it or isn't good. It's just to say that mitt work can always be a great disguise for things, or just doesn't always paint the full picture. iDubbbz, second time around, but also the person putting on the entire event plays a little bit of tug of war. Yes, there's a lot of experience on this end, but I don't know the full commitment of camp. What is that really like when you're the person putting on the card? He went through a war in Creator Clash last year. He's been busted up a little bit. I think that'll help this time around. I think Alex will make it scrappy and interesting, but I think that iDubbbz actually going for big blows last year will help him out this year. I think that experience of feeling a little wobble in the head, perhaps a little busted nose, will be the difference, because when it happens the second go around, your fight or flight really doesn't kick in as much as the first time. When you get wobbled or you get your nose busted up, there's a real instinctual panic moment, fight or flight right there. You're either going to cover up or you're going to ball out. And I think because iDubbbz has just done the whole thing, I don't think that having a full camp or maybe a fully focused camp, if I'm going to just speculate and say that he didn't, I don't think that'll matter. I think the experience is going to play hands down the better factor here. I think that iDubbbz is going to take this, but it's going to be a decision. I don't think either of them are going to bang hard enough to get a full-on knockdown, knockout. I think iDubbbz will win in decision, and that'll conclude the card. Unless Froggy Fresh comes in right after. If it's a 2-for-1, that would be sick. A tinfoil hat on, if I could speculate and pretend, that would be so sweet to watch happen. He finishes with Alex Wassabi and then comes down. Here he is, Mr. Froggy Fresh himself. It's all been a work. We've all been fooled. Double fight? I want it, but it won't. But those are my predictions, my pick'ems for Creator Clash 2. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Did you buy tickets to the fight? Are you watching in person? Are you watching online like me? Who do you think will win? See ya!